back. You are watching Today's Indonesia from the Jakarta studio of the Indonesia channel, the country's first with 24 hours in English. Asian stocks extended gains on Tuesday. Here with that and more details in our Business Watch is Prisma Kinanti. Pris, another good day on the trading floor?
Exactly, Luisa. A rally in Chinese stocks again managed to turn Asian shares higher, reversing earlier losses. Indonesia's JCI also stepped up to the green after standing in the red in the openings. Consumers, goods and construction sector were the major drivers. Here's how the trading closed on Tuesday in Jakarta and around the region. Singapore's national air carrier Singapore Airlines has made a strong presence in Indonesia despite stiff competition from local players. The Indonesia channel's Raisa Chantami discusses more with the airline's general manager Indonesia Vinod Kannan.
Indonesia as a market is of course one of the biggest markets in the region. We know that there's a huge population, a huge domestic base. 250 million, it's not small, one of the biggest in the region, if not the world. And of course, the relative strength is that the economy is still growing compared to European economies or the American economies at this time. There are not too many countries which are showing positive growth as far as economics are concerned, and Indonesia is one of them. So definitely it's a market where everyone wants to be. It's a market with a lot of potential. It's a market where we as Singapore Airlines are committed to be and to grow.
So do you find competition in airlines industry in Indonesia tough enough?
Competition is always tough. Indonesia is no exception. As Singapore Airlines, we operate, including our group, members of our group, to over 119 destinations around the world. Everywhere we fly to, there's competition. Of course, Indonesia, being close to Singapore, is slightly closer to home, but doesn't mean that it's without its challenges, because there's a huge growth of low-cost airlines, for example, which is something new compared to the rest of the world. Here, it's slightly new. There's also an advent of carriers from the North Asia, from China, Japan, and so on. There's also the advent of the Middle East carriers. So, well, we have it all here, and we are very happy to still be here and be doing well.
So budget airline companies have also conquered the Indonesian market. What are you trying to do to get a bigger slice of the market?
The good thing about the Indonesian market is that there is still a lot of scope for growth. I mean, the pie itself is expanding, and we are firm believers in the fact that there are still a lot of people who maybe have not even flown for the first time, or people who have flown maybe to nearer or domestic destinations, but they would like to adventure, and I mean to venture further to other destinations that we fly to. So our bottom line as Singapore Airlines is to make sure that we have what we call a very good value proposition. So, of course, the operating model of low-cost airlines or budget airlines is different from full-service carriers. But we would like to educate the Indonesian public, and the Indonesian people are actually very selective and very clever to decipher some of these things, that we do come in with additional value. Since the fact that we are a bit more expensive is because we offer services that no one else does. And I think that's where this value proposition is really what makes us an important and a great way to fly.
Can you give us a broad picture of Singapore Airlines profits or revenue growth in the first half of this year, and how has it increased from the same period last year?
Our operating profit for last financial year was about 410 million Singapore dollars. That's Singapore dollars. That's the operating profit, and the net profit was about 368 million. So, on operating terms, we actually did much better than the previous year, almost 56 or 58% better. So we did well. When you look at the first quarter of this year, which is January to March, we had a operating profit about 92 million.
So where's the biggest growth opportunities in Southeast Asia, and can Indonesia be your top priority market?
Well, I would say Indonesia is already a priority market. As I mentioned earlier, if you look at the number of flights we have to Indonesia compared to the other countries in Southeast Asia, definitely Indonesia is number one. 13 cities, all the way from Medan to Lombok. I mean, every city which there's good potential to grow, we are here. We are very much here for the long run.
Okay, last question. What's on your long-term strategy list?
Looking at Indonesia specifically, I think, as I mentioned, we are here since 1947. We are present in 13 cities. We've been around for a while. So I think the top priority for us is to make sure that we continue this sustained growth and we continue to have the support of the Indonesian people who have been very kind to us so far.
Singapore Airlines stepped into the Indonesian market in 1947, and their services watch. Lisa.
Thank you, Prisma. More of today's Indonesia is coming up. Who would have thought ancient tombstones could be a tourist attraction? That's ahead.